want to talk about today how to get a really good warm-up so that you can really get that serve going nice and fast before you start your match. So number one, I'd say that you want to work on having a smooth motion. In order to do that, doing some shoulder rolls is really good. But besides that, just go ahead and take a tennis ball and we're going to start throwing it to the other side of the court. You're going to see a lot of the professionals, including Djokovic, they will start just throwing the ball back and forth. And that really loosens up your arm, which is extremely important to use the right serving motion and serving muscles. The next warm-up exercise I want you to try is simply slamming your wrist down on the floor, right? Like that. And you're gonna hit the ball at the floor. And the goal is to snap your wrist. If you have the wrong grip, it will be hard to snap your wrist, so make sure you have a continental grip. And then next, you wanna make sure that you hit it, toss the ball in front of you and hit it so that your wrist is pointing down and your racket is pointing down. Next exercise I want you to do to be able to warm up your serve nice and smoothly is to simply take the toss and use just your arm to serve without your legs. By doing this motion, you warm up your upper body, and that's extremely important before you serve so that you get all the muscles working together instead of working just to generate power. And sometimes a lot of people use their legs, but they don't use the right smooth motion, or other times they just use their arm and they don't use their legs. Next, for the next exercise that I want you to work on is going to be, we're gonna go ahead and mimic the same service motion, but we're not gonna hit the ball. We're gonna fake the toss and we're gonna jump and do the same service exercise. What that's gonna do is it's gonna warm up your legs in the right angle and the right muscles that you use for your serve. Some people might do some jump ropes, that's excellent, and those exercises are very useful, but what you're actually gonna do is serve, and you wanna get those muscles warmed up. So you're gonna toss, and you're gonna land on your front foot, and you're gonna toss, you're gonna land on your front foot. Doing this exercise is extremely valuable. Doing 50 to 20 of these is ideal, and if you can go ahead and integrate this into your practice and your warm-up, you're gonna notice a real improvement on your serve. Next, the next exercise I want you to start doing is you're gonna go ahead and focus only on your toss. In order to get a really good toss, I noticed that people have trouble really, not with their hand, but with their balance, okay? So the key here is going to be that you're gonna get in the service motion and you're gonna hold for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. You're gonna come back up, get back in position, you're gonna get back into the service motion, you're gonna hold 1, 2, 3. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna help you find your balance point, or exactly the position where you wanna be when you make contact with the ball, or where you're gonna be to thrust up towards making contact with the ball. Now, if you integrate all of these exercises into one practice, we're gonna have this. Shoulder rolls. We're gonna do 15 to 20 shoulder rolls, maybe 10 going forward, 10 going back, because you don't want to have any problems with your shoulder or your rotator cuff or any shoulder problems. And that sometimes means doing some of these. Next, you're gonna do 5 or 10 of these to kind of warm up the back muscles behind your shoulders. The next exercise, remember, we're doing ball throws. You wanna make sure that when you throw that ball, you try to aim at that front box and you try to mimic the exact service motion, okay? You're gonna get sideways, you're gonna pull your racket back, the left arm's gonna be up, left arm should not be down, left arm up, and then you're gonna rotate your shoulders. And you wanna relax so you can generate some real speed on that throw. Even if sometimes you throw a little bit sideways, don't worry about it. If you throw a little bit high, don't worry about it. Find which motion allows you to generate enough power and prevents you from having injuries at all. Remember, some of the greatest servers in history have had their own technique and their own service motion. That's what I want you to do. For the next exercise, we're gonna go ahead and take that ball and we're gonna slam it down just like we talked about before. Be careful, don't slam it in front of your face. Make sure you toss the ball in front of you and a little bit lower, okay? Because if you toss it too high, you can't snap it downwards. You wanna make sure you toss it in front of you, and then you're gonna snap your wrist down in a relaxed motion. So the ball bounces down and up, just like this. Okay. If you feel like you can't generate much power with that swing, try to go ahead and start with the middle of the grip and do it softly and lightly. And as you feel comfortable, go down on the grip and then slam it down and relax that wrist. So next, we're gonna focus on the first half of your swing, which is just gonna be your upper body or just your swing. You're not gonna move anything. We're just gonna move the arm all the way on the top, and we're gonna use your forearm and your wrist to generate the power without actually completing an entire service motion. You don't have to toss it too high. For the next exercise, I want you to focus on getting into a balanced position before you actually make contact with the ball. For the next exercise, we're gonna go ahead and focus on getting a good spring on those knees and legs. Remember, we wanna bend and come up and swing. Bend, come up and swing. Bend, come up and swing. If you can do 10 to 15 or even 20 of those exercises, you're gonna see a major improvement on your serve and the power that you can generate on your serve. And then remember, the next exercise we're gonna do is we're gonna throw, or not even throw, we're gonna get into a serving position. We're gonna hold for 3 seconds and come back up. If you can do 5 or 10 seconds, you'll only get better results and your toss will only get better. So I want you to get in that position, hold 3 to 5, 10 seconds, and you're gonna come back up. And I want you to do that 5 to 10 times. That will really improve your toss if toss is your issue. And then finally, you're gonna go ahead and do a jumping exercise, but you're actually gonna complete the entire service motion like this. And there you have it. I want you to practice these exercises. It's gonna make a huge difference on your serve. I always find that when you're competing as a tennis player or preparing to have a practice, you wanna make sure that you build the momentum up until you get to your serve, because that's when you're gonna do your best tennis, or you're gonna play your best tennis, okay? Give it a try.